everyone, welcome to the Car Ward. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now in today's video we are preparing the TT for her MOT. That is in a week's time. So as you've seen before and as I've told you before, there are a couple of little things with the car that I'm not quite happy about before we put it through its MOT. The main one being the fact that we have an airbag light showing on the display. Now apparently, well, I know how we did it, but apparently we can fix that very easily. So I've actually purchased something that should be turning up later today. We'll unbox that, get that into the car, hopefully get this car fixed, and then send her off for MOT in a week's time. Stay tuned. And don't forget, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe and comment at any time throughout the video, just to let me know your thoughts and let me know how I can improve and make these videos better for you. So before we jump any further into the video, let's go get in that car, let's find out what the problem actually is.
So ignition on, start the car. As you can see, all the lights go out, bar my airbag light. So let's get that fixed.
So guys, as you know, the TT is up for MOT in a week's time. So I bought a little device that will hopefully help us get this car through the MOT, or at least fix a couple of the little problems on it that you've seen before, so, the airbag light. Also check the chains on it. Apparently this can be used for that. So it's an OBDEleven first gen diagnostic tool. Android only, so this is the first gen device, which can only be used on an Android device. I think it has to be running Android 6 and above. You can get the next gen device, which can work on iOS, but yeah, I've got an Android. This is fine. So yeah, let's crack on and get this unboxed. I've just undone the tape on the back of the box. Yeah, as I mentioned, download the app from the Google Play Store, Android only. So let's lift it off, and there it is. It's a lot smaller than I was thinking. Yeah, it's actually a little bit smaller than the Carista. The Carista's in the car. We can go check that out in a second, but you can see it's a lot smaller, and that's literally it. That's all that comes in the box. So let's jump on and get this set up in the app, and then we can go plug it into the car and see what we've got. See if we can get rid of that airbag light.
So I'm in the car now, finding the OBD port, which I believe is right here. So you just plug in your OBDEleven somehow. There we go. She's in. Red light shows that she's working. Now let's jump onto the app. So hit connect. That will connect you to the OBDEleven device. It will look for it in the Bluetooth. Select the one that pops in the list. It will then prompt you to update. So just make sure your phone is on 15%. Hit update, and it takes a couple of minutes, but once that's completed, you can go on to the next steps. So you hit OK. It'll ask you for a PIN. Just create a 6-digit PIN. Once you've done that, it will then ask you to find your vehicle. So if you don't know the VIN number, you can hit the list button, select the manufacturer. It will then come up with the model choice. So this is 2004 TT. I select the correct model range for that one. It's a TT, not a Quattro Sport, unfortunately, and it is also a coupe. So once you've entered that information, it will then go through and actually connect the device. This takes a couple of minutes before it does actually connect. I skipped through that part. Hit scan, hit include freeze frame data, and the device will then go through and scan all of the modules that are part of your car. So straight away you see we get one come up for the engine. Wasn't actually aware of this, don't have an engine management light as you saw. Not quite sure what that one was. I skipped through the other ones that don't show any errors. The next one should be the airbag light, which boom, there you go. Airbag light, we know about that one, not too worried. It does actually go through and find a few more problems. So at the top it says 5, but when the scan completes it actually says 4 there. But I could never find these other two faulty control units, so not quite sure where I got that information from. As you see, they're all, no errors coming up there. But I look at the engine one first. And it comes up with the catalyst system bank 2, so not quite sure what that is. Hit Google. It will then take you through into the internet page and show you what that code actually is. It's quite cool that it has all this built into it. But as you can see, it's for a catalyst converter in bank 2, so it's one of the sensors. Could just be a sensor that's gone, could be more sinister, but as we know, can't really trust it too much. Then we go on to the airbag one, which we then go ahead and clear. So we've just cleared all the faults on the TT. As you can see, they're all coming back nice and green. So the engine fault that was showing up, I think it was a bank 2 catalytic converter. That's now gone. If we refresh, that's all gone. The airbag has also gone. I'll flip the camera around. Well, I'll show you the dashboard in a sec. We've not started the car up yet, so we'll start the car up and see if they all come back. But just to show you that we've cleared all the codes. So if we flip the camera around, start the car up, we should be able to see that we are all good. So I'm just going to start the car up. As you can see, the airbag light's gone out there. And voila, no airbag light has come back. So that looks good. And then what we'll do, we'll jump back on OBDEleven, rescan the car and see what we can find wrong with it there. So back on OBDEleven now, and as you can see, car not showing any more fault code, so that's perfect. So what we need to do now is actually check the chains. Now the footage that you're seeing here was the first time I've done it, didn't know what I was doing, so I'm talking back on myself. I now know how to check the chains properly. So what you need to do is you need to go to car and then select the engine control unit, go to live data, and when it asks you for the channel, you want to scroll all the way down to camshaft adjustment intake. Once you've found that, hit that one and the block values you need will be shown in the next screen. So there are a couple of points you need to note about the Audi TT V6 chain readings. The first being that the measurements must be taken once the car is up to temperature, which is approximately 90 degrees. I believe it can be taken above 60, but get the car up to temperature. The engine should be running when measuring these values. Obviously it's measuring the stretch of the chains, the engine has to be running in order to do this. Blocks 208 and 209 are the measuring values for the offset of the chains, and the camshaft offset must be between plus and minus 8 degrees, with a difference of no more than 3 degrees between the two measurements. Blocks 90 and 91 are also used to measure the health of the chains. The adjustment specified and actual readings, so that's adjustment specified and adjustment actual readings, are the two that are used to determine the condition of the chains. Block 90 should have a specified value of 0 degrees, with approximate tolerance of about 1.5 degrees. Block 91 should always have a specified value of 22, and again a tolerance of about 1.5 degrees. You want to get as close to those numbers as possible. So now we know what we're measuring and how we're measuring it, let's go over the measurements for my TT. So block 90 and block 91, as you can see, block 90 we got an actual adjustment reading of 0 degrees. The specified is 0 degrees. The exhaust camshaft duty cycle is 46.7. Now it's worth noting that although that one doesn't really determine the stretch of the chains, that reading should be as close to 50% as possible. The tolerance is about plus or minus 4 degrees. So 46.7 means that the engine is quite healthy, essentially, on the exhaust side of the camshaft, at least anyway. Block 91, as you can see, we've got the specified reading of 22. The adjustment actual is 21 degrees. Again, the tolerance is about 1.5 degrees, so that's an acceptable reading. I'm happy with that. The intake camshaft duty cycle should be as close to 15% as possible. We got 14.5, so happy days, we're all good on that side. Now the main ones, block 208 and block 209. As you can see, block 208, that's got the camshaft offset of minus 5 degrees, so that's quite a good reading actually. I mean, it's pushing on to the the tolerance of 8, but it's a decent reading for the age of the car, the mileage of the car, etc, etc. Happy days there. Now the block 209 is one that we're a little bit worried about. That got a reading of minus 7, so it is within the tolerance. It is not 8 degrees, and it is also only a 2 degree offset from block 208, but it is minus 7. So what that means is we will need to be doing the chains on this car at some point in the next probably 6 months. You could probably get away with it for a year. There are people that have had readings of minus 9 and 10 and their engines have been fine, but I think at minus 9 degrees you would receive an engine management light. So we've checked our chains, we've fixed the airbag light, we've cleared all of our codes, the car's running like a dream. Happy days. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time.